Episode 8 of Stick finally introduces Timothy Oliphant, and the wait was worthwhile. Stick serves as a good reminder that Timothy Oliphant is the best at being smug, even if I already knew this. Although his character, Clark Ross, has been mentioned and seen in passing previously, Episode 8, appropriately named Clark the Mark, provides a proper introduction to him. He is first shown as a scheming businessman, then as a slightly more sinister rival, and finally as a stunted man-child who has never fully recovered from the incident that not only made him but also left his reputation in doubt. When Pryce prepared to trick Ross into giving Santi a sponsor exemption to compete in a PGA Pro event at the close of the previous episode, he knew he could take advantage of these precise traits. Clark the Mark deftly chooses to depict this theft from Clark's point of view, with our well-known characters alternating between minor parts that we are aware are essential to the plan. Even while the stakes are quite low and the center can't hold for very long, there is a certain Ocean's flavor to it. Despite its exceptional character development and emotional depth, it lends Stick a free-spirited, exuberant vitality that it hasn't truly had before. It also helps that the strategy isn't instantly obvious, even to the viewers. Zero arrives first, pretending to be a sports journalist who gets Ross to do an interview. His willingness to give her time as soon as he discovers she's a pretty young lady speaks to his character without being overt. In contrast, Ross comes off as affable and patient in the early going of the show. He is friendly, for example, when he meets Pryce. To be fair, Pryce is playing himself, which is crucial to the entire situation since Ross's career was boosted by Pryce going postal during a tournament that Ross won. But it also left Ross with a persistent question that he would have been able to do so had Pryce stayed in the game. Ross gives Pryce free food and drinks, obviously to make fun of his success, but he's still bitter since so many people think Pryce was always the better golfer and that Ross's career was ruined by his crash out. This is a later topic. In the first round of the scheme, Santi will introduce himself to Ross over dinner with Zero, boasting about his recent amateur achievements and requesting a sponsor exemption. Ross is supposed to get so tired of the disruptions and anxious to please Zero by being kind that he would give Santi the exception, but that isn't the case. At this point, Pryce steps in and begins to irritate Ross, leading him to play a pointless putting game in the center of the eatery. Both Elena and Mitz appear here, supposedly as gamblers who automatically wager on each guy to persuade him to participate. In the premiere, Pryce and Mitz collaborated on a scheme. It's not the endgame, however. Or it doesn't seem to be, anyhow.